How's it going, Knight fans? Welcome once again to Holding Court with Todd Dagenais, and along with the coach who's running on 1 hour of sleep. My name is Jeff Sharon. UCF coming back from that long 3-game road trip to finish out the regular season. And, real quick before we get into that, though, Coach, why are you running on 1 hour of sleep?
It's just one of those travel things. You know, a fire alarm went off at 1 in the morning in El Paso, and it didn't stop until 2 in the morning. We finally probably got to bed at about 3:30. I got to bed at about 4:30, and the wake-up call was at 5:30 for our plane to come back home. Literally, as we're filming this, we just landed about an hour ago. So we're back in town. It's good to be back.
Well, word is that somebody at the hotel forgot to get the memo that they probably should have done that the night before, but we'll get to that in a second. But first of all, we start off with that big road trip. You know, we talked about how important this was, and there were a lot of team goals at stake. And the first match up at Tulsa, they're tough to play anywhere, and they get the victory in 3. But what were you thinking right after that match with 2 matches to go against SMU and then UTEP still on the road?
I thought we were confident heading into it, which, I thought we prepared well. I thought we practiced pretty well, and I think we all felt like that was a match we could go in there and win. And we show up, have a good warm-up, and it wasn't there. Yeah. First time all year where we were flat. And, as a coach, you're going, oh my gosh, this is the first of 3 road matches, a 7-day road trip.
Not a good start.
And here we are, and we are flat, and that is not the way we wanted to start that road trip. Tulsa played like they're a team that's ready to go in the NCAA tournament. I mean, they did not let up. We had no answer. We didn't get frustrated. Just nothing was working. Absolutely nothing was working. And it was just one of those nights where we're sitting back in the locker room and we talked in the locker room probably a lot longer than what we normally do at the end of the match. And I know the team hates that. The team hates it when we lose, and I go on and talk for 45 minutes. But I thought it was really important that I made sure that our team's head was in the right spot as we go forward, because, of course, we wanted Tulsa, but we really needed to win the next 2. Mm-hmm. And I think the captains politely told me to, that they're fine, leave them alone. And taking a cue, I did. I just let the captains handle it, and the team, tried to rebound.
So you go from Tulsa to Dallas, and you're playing SMU next with that cloud hanging over you. So how do you break that funk?
Something I've never done in my entire coaching career. We landed, and we went to In-N-Out Burger.
Awesome.
Sometimes you have to do the last thing that the team expects. Mm-hmm. And we were supposed to eat at a neat French restaurant, and we drove right by it. Yeah. And the team started wondering, maybe we're going to the hotel, we're not going to get fed. And we pulled into the parking lot at In-N-Out Burger, and we had burgers and fries. And that was, it's not something I ever do, but it was just one of those things we thought, we've got to get out of this feeling of what happens if, and it was really a neat mood lightener. And it turns out that it worked out pretty well.
Well, I guess you guys had a few extra calories to burn off also when the team went in to play SMU in Dallas. And it's a good thing you did, because the match went 5 and you get the big victory, tied at 13 in the 5th set, and you guys come up with the win.
Yeah, and we hadn't stopped their right side at all during the night. And I can't remember exactly how the last 2 points went, but I remember Ashley Galinos took an out-of-system ball and went high seam into a deep corner in between 2 people. It was a perfect shot, indefensible. Mm-hmm. And it landed. And then on the very next play, we hadn't shut down the right side all night long. And I challenged them at halftime. I said, if we can slow down their right side, it completely changes the complexion of this match. We started getting touches and transitions. First time all night, we stuff blocked their right side for match point. And it just could not have come at a better time. And it was exciting, but it was more of a relief, because that one is that could have been the difference between high in the standings or as low as 8th in the standings. Mm-hmm. And so that was a big win. Took a lot out of us, heading into the next match.
Well, like we said, In-N-Out Burger, extra calories, good thing you came in handy. So then you go on the road, you stay on the road, rather, and then head all the way out west to UTEP in a match that, when you look at UTEP's position in the standings, you're like, okay, well, how much does this really matter? But there was still a lot at stake for this match. 20 wins in the regular season, a lot of other goals for you. You guys go in and you get the sweep. How big was that?
Huge. Yeah, they're only a couple games behind us, and if you look at statistically in Conference USA, it's UCF, UTEP, UTEP, UCF, and we're so statistically the same. And I don't know what it was. I don't know. The team caught fire. Coaches, you're worried about the altitude. You're worried about the hydration. All these things. There was nothing. I mean, we came out and we probably played one of our best matches of the year against a team that I think is pretty similar to us. We made it look way easier than what it was. That first set was 25-13. I think we jumped out to a 10 or 12 point lead early and just kind of cruised from there. We got into the third set and we started to get into some problems. And we were down probably 4 points in that third set, but just climbed back, caught them, I think, at 13, 14, 15, and then we were able to secure the win for there. But 3 and out on the road at UTEP, that's a big deal, especially with it being our third match in 5 days.
And concluding the season, and there are a bunch of benchmarks that you guys achieved this year. Just a few of the things that you get. 12 and 8 in conference, we know, but 20 and 11 overall. First time since 2003 that UCF has won 20 matches in the regular season. Right now, you stand at 4th in the conference with a couple teams that still have yet to play this weekend to finish out their schedule. So Sunday is the tournament selection show. So when you look at the season in context, before we talk about the selection show, where do you see this team now that the resume is complete as it's going to get?
Yeah, I think we've got a shot. And I think that's all we could really hope for at this point in the year is to have a shot. We're riding our non-conference schedule and some of the non-conference wins.
Yeah.
We'll probably have to be in contention with UAB and Rice. We have 2 wins over Rice, so hopefully that'll play into it. We've won 7 of our last 9, and sometimes that tends to be a factor. Now, our RPI is going to probably be a little bit lower, but I also think it's more a product of the strength of schedule, not so much strength of the non-conference schedule, but by virtue of playing some of the teams twice in our conference that had lower records this year, it really hurt our overall RPI. So, hopefully the committee will take a look at that and say, wow, what happens if you throw out this match and this match? They're maybe 15, 16, 20 spots higher.
Matches that you can't do anything about.
Yeah, I mean, they're on our schedule. You choose your non-conference schedule, you can't choose your conference schedule. So, I mean, we went out, we did the best that we can do. And if it's enough, wonderful. If it's not enough, we'll try to find a way to fix it somewhere down the road. But, now we're at the mercy of somebody else. And that's what I told the team afterwards. You've done everything that you can do. You had an epic win. We set records in conference. We got a 20-win season. Most players ever on the Conference USA All Tournament with Angelica Crump getting first team.
Yep.
Evia Vilde and Rachel Vuxen getting second team, and Delana Sarden being the Conference USA Freshman of the Year.
Yeah.
So that's that's another thing. I want to say we've only had maybe 2 or 3 All-Conference players, 3 All-Conference players up to this point. So to have 4 in 1 year is kind of exciting for us. So it was just a fantastic year. And no matter what happens on Sunday, we're going to look back at this and be pretty proud of what happened.
And it's important also, I mean, from our perspective, it's nice to see, a nice round number, the top 20 wins, you kind of put that little notch in your belt and you move forward. Like you said, now we're at the mercy of everybody else, not just the few conference teams that still have yet to play. I think Rice and Houston are also playing each other. We'll be watching that match closely, but also nationally. What are the big matches as we head into the final weekend, the big tournaments coming up that you're also going to be keeping an eye on as we look forward to Sunday?
Well, some of the conference tournaments where our preseason opponents are still playing. Of course, Southern Cal has got another match coming up this weekend. They win, they beat UCLA. That bumps everything up for us. So, I mean, we're scoreboard watching this weekend because we need our opponents to win, the ones that are still playing. Yeah. So, like I said, it's out of our hands right now. Now we get to sit back and just watch.
All right. Well, give or take, percentage chances, how are you feeling heading into for the selection show on Sunday?
I think right now we've got a 40% chance. That's my guess. Again, if the committee goes strictly by RPI and just draws a line, that may preclude us. But I think if the committee really looks at the numbers and really looks at the overall resume, I give us a pretty fair shot. A fair shot.
So the selection show, if I'm not mistaken, is at 6 o'clock Eastern Time on Sunday, and
On
that is
ESPNU.
televised on ESPNU. So make sure you hang out and watch that. And keep an eye here on UCF Athletics for all the latest news. And we will see on Sunday. Hopefully everything works out for us in terms of UCF getting back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2004. 20 wins, pretty good resume. Win over the number one team in the country. That certainly helps, doesn't it?
It does.
All right, well, Coach, thank you once again.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Hopefully your palms won't be too sweaty on Sunday. And we will catch you after the selection show as well here on Holding Court with Todd Dagenais. Make sure you follow UCF Athletics as well on UCFathletics.com, Twitter _UCF_athletics, and Facebook UCF Volleyball as well. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll catch you after the selection show.